villains be having better stories than the main characters. I'm like, yo, like with Demon Slayer, I'm like, yo, this villain, not only do I call him Michael Jackson,
Yes, he's a smooth criminal.
he is a smooth criminal. That was the joke I was gonna go with.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? It is your boy Earth Mac, the Mad Scientist, and this is another edition of the Orange Phoenix Show. And I do have another awesome cosplayer here today, and she goes by the name of Amber. How are you today, Amber?
I am doing good. I just came from the gym, and my muscles are sore.
You was building muscles. Okay. So what you work on today? You did legs, you did arms, chest.
Squat. I did squat and core. Couldn't really do much like today because it was really busy. I'm like, oh well, I'll just get what I can get in. Trying to work on hip flexibility more than anything, but it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
You'll get to it for sure. So, so we're gonna jump right into it, and I always ask this question. It's usually the first, but this is actually the second question I'm asking you this time around. What was your geeked out moment? What was the moment in time where it got you on your journey to watch anime, play video games, and this is what I'm gonna pursue from here on in?
Okay, so we really want to go way back.
Yeah, your defining moment.
Okay, do you remember like when remember the Inuyasha ending?
Yes.
And how loud it was and wake you up in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Okay. From that moment was when I got into anime. Like that was my first anime I watched, and then like from then it was just Naruto and so forth. But then like the true moment I got into cosplay, it was probably like it was my freshman year in high school, and I just first time having Instagram, I found that there's a thing called cosplay for like video game stuff, and from that moment I was pretty much hooked. I'm like, ooh, cool. It's expensive, so I had to do a lot of closet cosplays to get by.
But typically that's usually how it starts, though. You know, you use stuff that you have home already, or you see some costumes online, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get that. You know, just to start out, and then
yeah, that's probably went pretty much.
But that Inuyasha ending, though,
that was like, hey, I got to cosplay Koga, so I was like, I finally did it.
Listen, like going to sleep and you waking up and you hear that. Like, what the hell is
and
this?
it's like, I'm going up here like, hold on. In my head, I'm thinking I should go to bed, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna watch this.
It's 3 a.m. What is this? I'm gonna keep watching it. All right.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it was.
So you got into anime first, or you got into gaming first? What was your?
It was actually gaming first.
Okay.
Then more anime. So growing up, I had pretty much all the generation Xboxes. Like just the other day, I was at home and I was playing my old Xbox. I was going back to all the throwback games. I just, for some reason, my favorite game on like Xbox is House of the Dead, like on the original one. Like, so a really, really old game. And I just found out they remade it for the Switch. I'm over here like, it's perfect. And then once I got to like the next couple years, it was 360. I got into Gears of War. I got into Minecraft. I pretty much played a lot of solo games growing up, so I didn't have the true, not like 24/7 Xbox Live. But when I did play online, I was like, wow, this community is horrible.
It can be. It can be.
I remember growing up a lot. I was playing a lot of Dance's Revolution on like the discs at home, like get the gaming mat. Played a lot of the Wii, like Wii Sports, Wii Play, some Mario Galaxy, like pretty much any like the old games from that point. They're just really nostalgic for me to play now. Yeah. Now, like a couple years later, well, how old am I? 23. Now I'm like I play on PlayStation and my Switch more than anything. But as like probably my like high school, I can honestly say I'm not proud of how many hours are on that PlayStation.
Be proud of it.
They're so
Be proud of it.
I'm gonna be proud of it, but I already know. One of those games called Warframe on the came back in like 2013, 2014. I got into that. Yeah. I got into that around 2015, and I probably played the living mess out of that game for like 3 years straight. And once I like, that's one of those games like you can't really stop playing, and then like you stop, you have to catch up on everything. Right. Yeah, once cold turkeyed it, I was done from that point. I was like, yeah, I tried to go back and play a couple months ago. I was like, dang, I'm some ass at this game. I really tried to go back and play Warframe and it didn't work. I left the game so fast. Man, listen,
I feel you with like the solo games, because I think that was a lot of people's gateway into gaming, really.
Yeah.
So playing some of the games from back in the day and actually like conquering the game like from start to finish, and like, because you might be busting in some mad hours playing this game and then you finally beat it, you get this sense of accomplishment and everything else. So I highly understand. But you took me back though. You said House of the Dead. I was like, wow.
Literally, growing up, like I watched my dad play Red Alert on the computer, and then like he would go into the Doom. Like, do you remember like the old Doom on the Xbox?
Yeah.
Like the 64. I watched my dad playing video games growing up all the time, and even when I go visit home, I still do, because he's always playing the deleted scenes of Gears of War 2 every single time. I'm like, well, at least I know why we still have Gears at Howard. So I love older games. In my opinion, I just prefer like retro games like Mario Kart. I just do. I don't know why. I don't get to game a lot anymore.
Because of your parents. That's why. Because you grew up watching these old school games. Like Doom even goes further back than N64. It goes to PC. Oh, yeah. Like way back. And
what was that story? Was it? I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. You good. Go ahead.
So like the one story my dad told me about Doom was that he was like, the janitor was watching this dude play, and he just sat watching him for like 20-30 minutes, and then from that point forward he knew that game was like a hit. I can't remember if he told me that story from like one of the top 100 video games of all time, or like he just remember himself watching it. But it was like, look, 64 scared the mess out of me as a kid, but I'm over here playing the new version like die. Like, it's nice to know that I grew up gaming. My dad and my brother game. My mom doesn't care for it, but she's like, here, go play. Kept me out of trouble, and I didn't have to deal with guys or anything, so I'm like, cool. I can be a dork.
Listen, like, there's some games that you didn't really touch, like when you was a younger kid, like, you just scared the piss out of you. So, but when you get older, you was like, wow, I was really scared to play this game and everything else.
It's like, the thing is scary. This is
it's not scary at all.
Different then.
Doom definitely was a hit. Because it wasn't really that many first-person shooters back then. You had Wolfenstein and Doom. Those were really and you had Duke Nukem too. Duke Nukem was kind of like hanging out there for a minute. But House of the Dead. So I remember like on Dreamcast, there was a game called Typing of the Dead, and like with Typing of the Dead, you had to type out words or sentences to actually shoot the zombies. So it taught you how to type as you killing zombies.
We love that. That's amazing right there.
And I'm sitting there, right? I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so way back when, there used to be keyboarding class. They teach you how to like, increase your words per minute and all that other stuff. Why we wasn't using this back in school? Like, we could have just been killing zombies. You know how many people like literally would have been like expert typers, like just the fastest typers in the world?
But they said it was too scary. It's gonna scare the children. I'm like, please. We have kids that are 9 years old learning Call of Duty. I think they're gonna be fine with the zombie game.
And being really nice at Call of Duty at 9 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't play the series that much. As a girl, it's a different type of experience. And I remember playing back in middle school with an old friend. I will not name him because we're actually not friends anymore, but I would go over to his house and we would play. And he taught me how to play, but I was bad. Mm-hmm. So we just stopped playing the game entirely because I was so bad. I was like, well, at least I know I'm good at first-person shooters and third-person shooters, so we can go with that.
Now, you mentioned your Switch. So, do you know there is a sale going on?
Tell me more.
Yeah, there's a sale. So, if you don't have Super Mario Maker, there's like 30% off right now for the next 10 days. So, like, the first party games are discounted right now. and I really wanted Super Mario Maker 2, so I actually bought that. It's like $40. But yeah,
I get paid on Friday, and I got some things to buy.
Yeah, you might want to look, see what you got, because I was like, Super Mario Maker eluded me for a long time because in GameStop it's still $60. In the Nintendo store it's still $60. Like first party games for Switch, you're not gonna get those discounts. You gotta catch it when it's there.
Pretty much, like the discounts is over. It's like, well, you missed it, and you gotta wait for like maybe the next chance for it to happen. Or if you just say if you're just SOL, you're just gonna pay the full amount. I'm like, darn it, I could have got that.
Yeah, terrible stuff.
Sweat. Let me put Joe back because I did not mean to knock you guys down.
So wait, so past gaming. Now you said you played Gears of War 2 and Minecraft. Now you gave me a little list too. Now you've been playing some Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, for some reason I wish I could consider myself a true gamer, but I'm more like I do play a lot of just solo story-based games. I don't know. I think it's because mainly just in like growing up I just didn't play online as often, except for my Minecraft. Now that brings me back. 2013 to 2014 summer was the best time ever. But anyways, I digress. Like I have all the Gears of War collections. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I thoroughly love Pokemon, as you can see from the problem I have at this moment.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there's a nice Pokemon collection.
It is ridiculous. I love Mario, so there's just so many games to go from each platform. I don't like to stick to one platform. I would love to learn how to get into PC, but we're still getting there. Like I have three of my consoles right in front of me. I have two Wiis. I have my Xbox One. I have my PS4. Back at home, I have my N64, my Xbox 360, the old Xbox. So it just kind of goes along on the way. I still have my 3DS. I still have my Switch. I still have my Game Boy. And I try to rotate them out as much as I can, but when you're an adult, you don't get to play as often as you want to.
Yeah.
It just happens. But yeah, I have a lot of games that I've played. And I remember one of the games I wish I finished was actually The Last of Us, and I didn't finish it. I think I started it and I got my ass kicked. In another game, it's kind of not really more like Ghost. It's more of Dark Souls. It was the game Neo. Yeah. That game humbled the mess out of me.
It humbled the mess out of a lot of people. You know, any Souls game, it's like Elden Ring, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Neo. Yeah. I was
for me, I was so invested. Yo, this game's kind of neat. I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna play this. The more I play, the more I'm like, am I just bad? Am I not learning from my mistakes? Am I just? Is it me? Am I the problem? That was one of the games I wish I finished. I'm honestly probably halfway through the game. I just need to really hunker down and finish it at this point because I'm just genuinely avoiding it because I don't want to lose anymore.
You can do it.
This game making me feel like I'm a bad gamer right now, and I don't want to deal with this.
You could do it. Look, you can do it. I got faith in you. I know Elden Ring holding a record right now. I think there was more people dying in Elden Ring than I forgot people dying in the world or something like that. It was crazy. It was in the billions, actually. How many deaths it were?
It's built different. The bosses in that game, just the graphics and just how gorgeous the game looks is wow. I will gladly get my tail handed to me every single time. Every time. But the way that whenever I see those TikTok edits, I'm over here wow, there's even if you think you outsmart the game, they're gonna find a way to get you. I remember this one it was just giant boulder rolling and the guy was on the ledge and he tried to fake out the boulder or whatever it was. And the boulder turned to him and knocked him off. I was like, wait, is this Elden Ring? Is this the actual game? This does this? Okay. Oh no, y'all can keep that. No. It
finds you. It finds you. I'll put it to you like this. So I played Dark Souls and I played Elden Ring. I find myself enjoying Elden Ring a little bit more. I wouldn't say, yeah, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's easier, but I guess because of what's around me and what I'm seeing with the scenery and everything. And I'm really big on dragons, and dragons going to drop any place, anytime, depending on what location you're at, and the armor and stuff like that. So there was a lot of tips and tricks, and it wasn't so frustrating dying so much, because it was hilarious, because it was like, oh crap, I just died by this. And it's like, clip it, because it's just such a funny thing to see. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I died in Elden Ring.
I respect any Dark Soul player, Elden Ring player, because that game is just like, you guys are built different, and you have my utmost respect. Well, I'm gonna sit over here and play Pokemon and try to catch shinies. You guys can have it. When you brought up dragons, I started thinking of like another old game I played. It was Skyrim, and I actually didn't get Elder Rings Online. I didn't get that one yet, but Elder Scrolls Online. But Skyrim was one of those old games that I was like, wow, it kind of like got me into gaming a little bit more too. Mind you, I tend to be very bad at those type of games. Like, it was more like I was just having fun learning different genres of games to play. Even if I wasn't the best at it, I still was like, wow, I'm still having fun. So I stick to my shooters for the most part, and adventure games mostly.
Skyrim don't have that difficulty like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. That game is very addictive if you're not careful, because it will grab you. Just don't kill a chicken in the village. Just don't do that.
I just told my husband this. I really did. I said, Jay, whatever you do, if you play Skyrim, do not kill the chicken in the village, because it will be your absolute worst nightmare. This was before, also, when I first played, I didn't know about that. I was like, ooh, a chicken. Whack. Little did Amber know that she made a horrible mistake.
Grave mistake.
It was a grave mistake.
Soldiers coming out of nowhere, like, yo, is this chicken special?
This chicken got magic powers? How dare you kill the chicken? I'm like, chill, man. Chill out. It ain't that deep. Or when, like, you think you can attack a giant, and you're like, oh no. Yeah,
swipe.
Yeah, just one whop. I'm like, oh, okay.
You swipe to the other end of the map. Like, I didn't know I could fly like that.
I like to admit the ragdoll physics were the absolute, like, kind of like the reason why I kept dying on purpose. Like, there was a point that I was like, this is why I made a new account, and I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna screw around and see what happens. I kept getting ragdoll. I would approach a dragon, I'm gonna lose. I would purposely go find higher level creatures just to lose. I'm like, you know what? But this is when I was like 13, 14, so I was just kind of screwing around, not knowing what I was doing.
So now, jumping into the anime realm, you say Inuyasha was sort of kind of your gateway.
Yeah.
So what was that journey like? What was that journey going into anime? Because I know you've been jumping from Inuyasha to others. So what was that like for you?
Well, recently, I think was it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now, I actually just rewatched the whole series. Just for the hell of it. I even skipped the fillers, because truth be told, I already know the fillers. And I was watching, I was like, this is like a really nostalgic anime for me. It's like a comforting anime. Like, I could put it in the background, and I won't watch it half the time, but it's just, I like to just hear the sound of it. Like, I like the story, I just like the plot. After a while, like, as a kid, you're like, wow, this is amazing. But as an adult, you're like, wow, this is long and amazing. I think, going back now, I started to really enjoy the characters more. Like, I really loved Inuyasha and Koga's, like, dynamic. It was like, they both want Kagome. And I'm like, on one hand, I'm a Koga girl. On the other hand, I'm an Inuyasha girl. But deep down inside, I'm like, I'm low-key Team Koga. I'm not gonna lie with you, I'm low-key Team Koga.
You low-key, you high-key, man. Because it feel like, you mentioned Koga a couple times,
Look, I had to cosplay the guy, okay? I started the cosplay back when I was like 16, and I had the fur and everything. Problem was, I forgot I had it, and I went home like 6 years later, and I dug it out, and I was like, whoa, I need to cosplay this character. And that was the first cosplay I wore to a convention, actually.
Wow. Okay.
It was like 2 years. I've only been going to conventions for like 2 years now, yeah. Post Inuyasha, I started getting into Naruto, like, and then I got into Shippuden, which I'm actually gonna have to rewatch because now I realize like my memory is kind of fuzzy on it. Like I still know the gist of most of it, but I'm like, I should probably go rewatch that. I finished Demon Slayer. Actually, I need to go watch the movie too. There's a lot of stuff. Life is busy when you hit your 20s a little bit more, so I'm like, oh, I'm trying to make time for everything, and I can't seem to do it. I finished Chainsaw Man. What was it? I know Avatar doesn't count as an anime, but I'm gonna claim it as an anime because it's just good. It's just good. I don't care what anyone says.
A lot of people embrace it. A lot of people embrace it in the anime community. Like, it's not officially anime, but we're gonna just put you here.
So I'm gonna claim it as that. Mm-hmm. So I loved Avatar. I mean, for God's sake, I'm this close to getting the dragons on my back. So I'm like, whatever. Other animes I've watched was, what the heck was it called? It involves. Can you help me out? I just watched it a couple days ago. When she's a little light-skinned girl that says, I cannot think of her name. And I can't think of the title right now. That is embarrassing.
Is it a newer anime?
It's a newer anime, technically, I guess you could say, but it's also like not that new. She's the girl that makes the other guy like blush all the time, and Senpai doesn't like Bunny. I cannot think of her name.
I saw it on Crunchyroll. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, because on the front, it's like a girl behind him, and he's like blushing.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's like a little light-skinned girl with the black hair, and she like wears like I cannot think of her name. That is how you know I don't get enough sleep because I can't remember half the time. I cannot. It'll come to me in a little bit. It's one of those things where you gotta just kind of give it a couple minutes. Yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
You did mention Neon Genesis Evangelion, though.
Wait a second?
You did mention Neon Genesis Evangelion. You did mention that.
I was watching that with my husband. So he said, "You want to watch this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Mm-hmm. So we got into a couple episodes. I'm actually gonna wait for him to come back from basic tech school, and then we're gonna like fully start from finish. He watches Attack on Titan. I'm getting there. It takes a while to get into it.
Fair enough. But
Eren Yeager is beautiful, man. He is beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say about Attack on Titan.
Just you wait.
I already heard the recent season that came out. I have a coworker that watches it, and she's like diehard for it, and I'm like, she said my heart hurts. I'm like, oh, I believe you. Don't give me don't give me that pain right now. I'm not about to deal with that. Oh, another one, Madoka Magica.
I don't think I have seen that one, but I heard of it though.
It was the magical girls where like they have to fight off witches, and like this one girl, the one magical girl, she's we all think she's like really mean, but she's really trying to save the main character Madoka. Mm-hmm. And by literally episode 3, I'm thinking this is a really cutesy anime. Like, oh, it's adorable. Oh, my sweet summer child me, I was horribly wrong. It became one of the darkest things I watched. Like, looking back, it's like, it wasn't that bad, but when you think it's like all cutesy, and then next thing you know, the girl just gets brutally murdered, like, oh, wow. Yeah, and then like you see the ending, and like she has to sacrifice herself and everything, like, oh. Y'all just gonna make anime and then have brutal deaths in it? Got it.
I have an anime recommendation.
Tell me. I need to know.
If you like psychological thrillers type deal, Monster. You need to watch that.
That is in my watch list, actually.
You need to watch Monster on Netflix. I'm telling you, you won't put it down, and you probably will see the most evil villain in anime, and he's just a human.
Don't do this to me, because I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna put it on my Netflix.
It's like, listen, it's so like it's crazy because it's like, man, this could be a live action film. You know what's so funny about it? Like most anime you see, you can easily correlate that into live action movies or series or whatever, because the storylines, to me, is a little bit deeper in anime. But just with Monster, it's like, man, it's just like unlike something I've never seen. I'm like, wow, if this was live action, it will grab everybody by the neck, because
they gotta do the live action right. Because remember, they happened with Avatar: Last Airbender. They screwed that up.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, that was
gotta get the right people.
That and Dragon Ball Evolution. Like Goku's going to high school. Like, yeah.
I have a very embarrassing story that I actually don't care to tell anymore. So a funny thing with Dragon Ball, they had the game on Xbox back, like way back, and it was Dragon Ball Sagas, right?
Yeah.
I had the biggest crush on Goku as I was in elementary school. I mean, for Valentine's Day, I literally made a Valentine's Day card and drew Goku with the spiky hair in the card. This was before I even like actually watched Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. My other friend is way more into Dragon Ball than I am. Like, he could have that. I guess you could say I'm just a fan. That's about it. But the old Dragon Ball, that was the game that I knew about the game actually before I knew about the anime.
You are the first person I've ever met that said, "Hey, I got a crush on Goku." You are the first woman I ever met that said, "I got a crush on Goku."
Crush, but I was also 5 at the time, or 6, whichever.
Okay.
So, and after Goku, it went to Trunks.
I can see Trunks. I can see Trunks because a lot of people was like fangirling over Trunks because he just had like the haircut and he was just a cool looking character.
He's just a badass, bro.
He get it from his father, man. He gets it from his dad. It's Vegeta, man. It's Vegeta all day. I'm always team Vegeta. I mean, I feel like no one has a better life than Vegeta as a husband. Not only do you have a half Saiyan son, you got a daughter that's just as smart as your wife, and your wife is a genius that invents everything, and she's loaded. So you can train however you want. Whatever you break, she's gonna invent it again, and she's gonna make it better.
Hey, he's out here living his best life. That's how I'm trying to be.
The best life, living the best life. And he's a great father too. He fathers his kid.
All the characters in Dragon Ball, you either love them or you have some form of bias against them. That's how I've learned the characters right now. Like, I wish I was more of like a diehard fan of Dragon Ball Z, but I'm like, you know what? That's one of the GOATs, and I'm never gonna disrespect the franchise. You know why? Because it's paved the way for a lot of animes. I'm never gonna disrespect the OGs. For the most part.
You know what? I can help you out. Dragon Ball, yes, it is a lot of people gateways. It wasn't mine, because I watched anime from before then, but we're talking like Samurai Troopers, Tenshinmuyou, Green Legend Ran, stuff like that. So,
you out here mentioning stuff I don't know.
but Dragon Ball, I'm definitely a huge Dragon Ball fan, no doubt about it. Watched it from start to finish and everything else. Now, as I got older, I know that Dragon Ball do not have the best storyline. So
that's true. That's what I've been told too.
Exactly. But you got to watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged on YouTube. You got to watch that.
That is hilarious. Oh my God.
You got to watch it.
I had to pause it because when my friends were showing it, I was like, dude, I can't. I had to tell them to stop playing. I was like, stop. I mean, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and I watch it now. I've seen Naruto Abridged. I watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Those are like the two main ones. And every time I hear them, like, my God, you guys are just who is making this content? I need y'all to make this an actual series and like put it on national television, please. I need more of this.
That content is glorious, like especially the Krillin owned count that be at the bottom.
Mhm.
I was like, man, this is hilarious. Well, I feel like that's a lot of people's rites of passage. Like, you gotta watch DBZ Abridged. Like, even if you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in its entirety, you gotta watch Abridged. Like, it's
You want to
gold
sum
standard.
up quick? Watch Abridged. There you go. That's it.
That's it. No doubt about it.
I guess
So
maybe one day they'll make a Pokemon Abridged, but I'm not even sure because I don't go that deep anymore on the internet.
they should. That would be awesome to see a Pokemon Abridged, man. That thing would be. Orange Phoenix Magazine is your one-stop shop for all things manga, anime, comics, video games, pro wrestling, cosplay, and more. We even have Sudoku puzzles and word finds in as well. For only $7.99, you can get your own digital copy of Orange Phoenix Magazine, whether it's the current issue or past issues. Also, if you want to save a little bit of change, you can join our Patreon for only $5 a month, and you are guaranteed a monthly issue of Orange Phoenix Magazine. Who knows? You may be featured in the magazine one day. Also, on the same website, you can click on our apparel section and check out our gear through TeePublic. Whether it's hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, or pillows, we got it, and we often have a 35% off sale as well to save you guys money. Click on the links below and to get that party started today. Hilarious, and there's so much content to use for a bridge. Like, it's crazy.
Oh man, you guys brought me back. I used to watch a lot of YouTube poop and was it those old animated those animation accounts were like Gosnazum and like what are the other ones called? Basically they would make a bunch of parodies and everything, so I'm like, wow. Was it Pokey Awesome or Dragon Ball Z or like Dragon Ball Poop or whatever it's called. So oh man, I feel kind of awkward. I'm like going back, like, did I really watch this as a kid? And I still find it funny to this day. Well, Virginia, Kakarot. And I'm like, oh, it's just.
You're in the tribe, though. You're in the tribe. Like, you're in the tribe of people that just like weird stuff. So, you know, we like DBZ Abridged. Nobody else around me probably would catch that humor, but it's always going to be hilarious to me. And so. But now with Neon Genesis, now there has been some slight changes in Neon Genesis, right? But I will say before it got on Netflix for a very long time, you could not find it on Crunchyroll, you couldn't find it on Funimation, you couldn't find it anywhere. And when you saw the DVD sets, it was stupid expensive, like $350, $400 because it's the original voice actors, and I think there have been some complaints about like there's certain scenes that was altered by Netflix or whatever, but overall the overarching story stayed the same.
Yeah.
So hopefully you get to watch it from start to finish because it's a twister. So
yeah. Another one we and my husband watched, he actually got me into Berserk. So I was like, whoa. I like this. This is nice.
Do you? Okay.
This is nice. I mean, for me, I feel as if I'm kind of like a person. I hate to like be like the slow person, but sometimes I have to watch an anime twice, or like I have to like make sure I'm getting the like I'm taking all the episode in, because like I'm watching and like I'm reading the subtitles and like, wait, what the fuck did I watch? But Berserk was one of those animes, I was like, I actually don't mind this. And when I was at the Ichiban convention, I was actually searching for Berserk merch, and I was like, it is so hard to find.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was like, I can't find a single thing for him.
I think mainly because like the author, you know, he passed away, and I think.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I remember when he passed away a couple years back. There was, you know, people still played like Final Fantasy 14, and they had a visual in the game, like, you know, everybody that was playing the game, they just lined up in a line, and they kind of like took a knee and like had like some flames burning or whatever. But they did it themselves, like in game. You know, it wasn't the developers or anything like that. They just did it, you know, for him because they appreciate what he's done with their franchise. Which kind of like, let me segue. How do you feel about Griffith?
I can't get that deep. I'm married. But,
you like Griffith? Oh man. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, I think I just like a lot of characters. Even if they're like villains, I'm not gonna be like I hate you. I'm like, wow, I like how the Arthur wrote you. I like more of you. I need more of you on screen. So if you're a good guy or a bad guy, I'm like, oh, I'm cool with this.
In the manga, I would say if you could find the manga.
That's what I was searching for. I actually found I found the first volume at when I was at Ichiban Con. Was it back in January-ish? But I was like, that's just one, and it got sold the moment I wanted to get it. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to go online for this one. But if you go online, it's just an arm and a leg too. So
try eBay. Try eBay.
Trying eBay for everything. Like a lot of the collector's items I'm trying to get right now are just like, I'm gonna go off topic for a second. Like these sleeping Pokemons. The Bulbasaur one is over $200 right now.
Wow. Why?
I don't know. I got this one for $30. I got the Squirtle one for $30. And at Ichiban Con, when they did that flea market, I finessed this bad boy for $15. So
nice.
Whatever. But for some, oh no, I fell.
Oh no! Oh no!
Bulbasaur's like $200. I'm over here like, why? But yeah, when it comes to like, I've noticed like certain animes, it's harder to find certain merches, especially when like the series is ended or it's not as popular anymore. It's on high demand, so searching for it can kind of be a pain in the tail, especially when there's not like, you don't know like trustworthy sellers for certain things.
Right.
Like I could have bought one of these cosplays without a set, but I'm like, it was just easier to make it, so no.
True that. So who's your favorite Pokemon?
Wait. I love Mew. Mew is my favorite Pokemon just for the sheer fact he is a prankster cat and likes to get under your skin.
Okay. I can see that.
And he's just a legendary Ditto. He can turn into anything he wants. And copy your stats. So yeah, I love Mew. Mew is my absolute favorite, but you got your favorite evolution, you got your favorite grass types, and I'm like, that's a conversation that I'm willing to have, but I'm not going to get into it.
So, judging from this conversation, though, it seems like you really do like the bad guy a lot, with the exception of Goku.
Hey.
So, you know, you kind of, I saw the twink in your eye when I said Griffith. That means you like Dio too, don't you?
Say again?
You like Dio too, don't you? From from JoJo's Bizarre. I mean, but Dio's a badass, man. It's just, like.
I hate on them. Sometimes the villains be having better stories than the main characters. I'm like, yo, like with Demon Slayer, I'm like, yo, this villain. Not only do I call him Michael Jackson.
Yes, he's a smooth criminal.
He is a smooth criminal. That was the joke I was gonna go with. I was like, bro, you took my joke. He's a smooth criminal. But then Tengen took my heart, so I'm over here like, okay, Tengen took my heart.
Oh, who's that? Tengen?
Tengen. I keep saying Tengen, but I know it's Tengen. But I'm like, my English is not perfect. I just like, I swear to God.
I think Tengen is. I think it's a lot of people's favorites, honestly, because of his character, how he is, you know, personality-wise, and he got the muscle mouses, which is so cool to see. I was like, man, to see him. Wait a minute, hold on. So you caught all the way up. You just haven't seen the Mugen Train art, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I managed to. So I'm just like, it's hard to catch up with anime, especially I literally work 9 to 5. I go to the gym and I get home to like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And by the time it's time for me to watch anime, I will turn it on, and this is me.
Gone. Out of there.
I'm out. So you either do it or you don't. It ain't no in between. You gotta sometimes pick your battle. Something.
You gotta pick your spots. You gotta allot some time there. It's like I've learned that over the past few weeks. I'm like, man, because my schedule is a little bit. I'm a night owl, so I'm used to like waking up a little bit later than usual. But waking up early and doing what I need to do early in the morning gives me way more time to do what I need to do. I was like, man, I need to wake up early more often, man. So like in the morning, I'm planning on waking up at 6. Don't have to do nothing. Just wake up at 6 and then just see how much stuff I can do from 6 a.m. to whatever. Maybe squeeze in a 30-minute nap and then see what we're gonna do from there. But
that's why I'm so happy I wake up early on the weekends now. Because I used to be like, oh, I'll go back to sleep. But I wake up early at like 7 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I be whipping out of my covers. I'm like, finally, the next day,
right? Because you know you don't have to work, you don't have to do anything, and you could just enjoy yourself and like do what you need to do.
Shop, get my meal prep done. Maybe take another nap.
Yeah, and you be like, dang, man, it's just 9 a.m. I did a lot of stuff before 9. You know, it's that craziness.
No, it's 7 o'clock. You're ready for bed. I'm like,
Yes.
So it's the downside, but if you're like me with hamster wheel brain, I don't know when I'm tired until like I lay down. That's pretty much how I go.
Yeah, I try not to lay down, man, because I have a lot of comfortable spots at home. So it's the man cave. I have several recliners in that sectional. So sitting on it, laying on it, done. Out of there. This chair that I'm sitting in, if I lean back and I just get relaxed just for 3 minutes, I think maybe I clocked out in this chair like 5 times. Like, and I just woke up and I was like, whoa. I'm like, did I just fall asleep? Like that kind of thing. Like this chair is discomfortable.
Dangerous.
So yeah, I gotta constantly move around. Otherwise, it's gonna catch you. It's gonna hit you unexpectedly because that's your body telling you need to go to sleep or you need to rest and do all that kind of things. If you're anything like me, which I know you are, you know, you're always ripping and running, and sometimes your body just go to sleep.
No, stop. Especially when I remember there was the month and a half I was grinding out the Sylveon cosplay, and I would go from work and I would grind that cosplay till like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night and be out, wake up in the morning, go to work and come home for weeks until I finished it. And then by the time I finished it, I was like, oh my God, I am so tired. Like I didn't take a single day break on it. There was always something I was working on, no matter what. Cosplay is expensive. Why did I get into this hobby? It's so expensive. It's costing me. I want to be like Mr. Krabs and be cheap all the time, but I can't.
You can't be Mr. Krabs, you know. Can't be Mr. Krabs. So,
Okay.
Amber,
Yes.
we are going to play a game.
Okay, I'm gonna lose.
No, it's no way you can lose this game. But it's called This or That. So,
All right.
So you have to choose, but it's no in between.
All right.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Naruto or Demon Slayer?
Naruto. I'm sorry, bro.
Neon Genesis, which you haven't finished yet, or have you seen Code Geass?
I have not, but I'm gonna go with Neon Genesis anyway because it's an OG. I'm gonna go with Neon Genesis anyway.
Okay. Master Chief or the Doom guy?
I'm gonna go. Oh, okay. 3, 2. Well, I'm gonna go with Doom guy.
Doom guy. Okay.
It's a heart.
Okay. You know, I know nostalgic feelings.
You know,
House of the Dead. or Dead by Daylight?
Oh, House of the Dead. Dead by Daylight is cancer. Oh my god.
Why?
Daylight is cancer. And I still regularly watch YouTubers that play it. I'm like, why? No. House of the Dead.
Okay.
Next.
Assassin's Creed or Tomb Raider?
All right. On one hand, I can piss people off. On the other hand, I can just Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Tomb Raider.
Ghost of Tsushima or Assassin's Creed?
Ghost of Tsushima. No disrespect to Assassins, but Ghost.
We here.
Game.
We here. Sasuke or Naruto?
Naruto!
I knew it. I knew it.
I was a Sasuke girl as a kid, but as I got older, I'm like, Naruto. That's the man. That's the man you want.
Okay. Kagome or Kikyo?
Kikyo.
All right. Inuyasha or Sesshomaru?
Lord Sesshomaru. Lord Sesshomaru, anything.
All right. I was just testing you. I don't know, like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're gonna pick there.
Easy. Like, sit down, little brother. You can't.
You can't see me right now. You can't see me right now. Gears of War or Halo?
Oh, all right. Whose loyalty do I lie with more? I'm gonna get canceled for this. I'm gonna go with Gears of War.
There's no cancellation on this show.
It's my opinion, guys.
It's her opinion, guys. If you even bother to cancel, man, I will roast you. I will flame you.
Oh, into your stuff, and kill you guys. I'm just kidding. No.
Sonic or Mario?
Oh, Mario. I love Sonic, but I'm more a Mario girl.
Okay. Mikasa or Levi?
Oh, I'm just gonna go with Levi for the safe choice. I'm just gonna go with Levi for the safe.
You had to think about that.
Levi for the correct answer.
Okay. Aaron or Mikasa?
Aaron.
Oh, that was way easy for you.
Aaron. Oh God.
Let's see if I can stump you with this one. Pokemon series or Naruto? Okay, I saw a Naruto poster on the back somewhere, and I was like, I don't know how she gonna do this.
I'm just going. I'm gonna go with Pokemon, even though Naruto has my heart. Pokemon is just. I cry sometimes when I watch the old movies still.
True. Look, okay, I got a question. What was Ash thinking when he punched Mewtwo? What was going on in his mind when he said, "I'm gonna throw a punch at this dude"? Well, at this Pokemon, it didn't feel a thing. Like, you just gonna say, "I'm gonna throw these hands." Wasn't successful.
Hey, he was 10 years old, and he said, "You know what? Impulse thinking, and he just did it." And because if I was 10 years old, at least I can say when I'm older, be like, "Hey, when I was younger, I was 10, I punched Mewtwo." You can't say you did that.
True.
You did that.
But did I get washed by him though? That's the next question.
Mewtwo let you live that day. Out of
He really
kindness.
did. He really did let you live that day. It like before memes was even a thing. When he threw that punch, I was like, this is going to be a pivotal moment in anime history. And sure enough, he is a meme. and that is a meme that has been floating around for a while.
Ash actually got folded like folded straight up.
So now, before we get off, I will say, I got to tell you about an experience I had today. So I have totally slept on webtoons. I have slept on them, and I am fully awake now because there are several, and I mean several gems that is in webtoons. I downloaded the app, and you shaking your head because clearly you've been reading some webtoons. So have you been reading like some action stuff? Have you been reading like the slice of life stuff? Like what genres you been reading?
Honestly, I've been doing more romance. So before I got into webtoons, before that I was reading this it's like webtoons, and you know what, because I feel like I'm actually an embarrassment right now because my memory is horrible. I'm not even kidding.
I can't even see you.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm right here. Don't worry. I was reading this thing called Choices. It's like borderline webtoons. Someone's gonna say it's not, but I was like reading like romance stories and action stories. And when I'm telling you, wow, I knew like once I was like, oh, I'm an adult. I can actually pay money to get the good story. I'm like, I want this option. I want this option. Got me through the month I needed. I'm like, it's fine. But webtoons, yeah, I enjoy webtoons, so I don't get to read it as often like I want to anymore, but most of the time I read more romances and action stuff.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
Can't give you a dang title I've read, but I know I've read one of them or something.
Well, I got something that's very short that you can watch. It's on Netflix, and I ran through it by accident. It is a manga. It is a webtoon. It's called Lookism, and Netflix picked it up. And it is slice of life, but it does have that romantic tone in there. By this kid, he's like short, overweight. I mean, the level of bullying. I don't know what it is about manhwa and Korean high schools, but these kids are brutal. Like
It's be relentless. And even like when I hear like the stories on Reddit, sometimes I'm like, please tell me these are fake. It's like, how do you cover your mental health after that? Like, huh?
Yeah.
This happened to you? Huh?
First episode's gonna piss you off. I'm just be honest with you. Like the level of bullying that you're gonna see is like it want to make you reach through the TV and just like choke the life out this bully, right? And it's like that bad. But to garner that much emotion, that means this thing is gonna be good. So he pretty much yelled at his mom, like, I want to change schools right now. Change schools, say he want to like start over, and then an embarrassing situation happen again, but now it's all on camera for people to see. But he goes to sleep. He wakes up. He's like 6 foot, slender, like muscle tone, and he looks behind him and he sees his old body sleep. So he goes to school under a different name, but when he goes to sleep, he goes back to his old body. So it's like it does a switch from. So this kid, from being beat up in school, knows how to dodge punches, knows how to fight because of experience, but his body allows him to move quick. And with his old body works and the other one goes to school. So, but that just barely scratches the surface here. Barely scratching the surface. Yeah.
I need to read something.
Yeah. Oh, it's on webtoons actually. Hold on. Matter of fact, before we jump on, let me double check. But it is on Netflix though. You can run through it. It is. By Tae Yoon Pak. Yep.
Go ahead, send me that link because I'm gonna go ahead and go download about webtoons. There are things like I know, like when it comes to like stories like that.
Yeah.
I actually have to uninstall the app because I'll actually get like fixated on it. I remember that's why I uninstalled webtoons for a little bit because I was starting to fixate on the stories. I'm like, every time I had the moment, I was like, just like scrolling and reading.
But I like it because manga is such a guarded thing. So to say you want to be a manga artist, it is extremely difficult because it's Japanese culture. Yeah, but when you go over to the webtoon side of things and know how that blew up, and now they got an affiliate type of deal, or if you get 1,000 subscribers, you can actually get some monetary value from the stuff that you write. Yeah. It's like way easier and easier to digest. Not saying manga is not easy to digest because, you know, we're manga readers. But I feel like this is an easier avenue for people to actually say, hey, I want to write one, I want to draw one, and this is the avenue I can take. So I really do like that aspect of it. So I can't tell you. Go ahead.
Like get their foot in the door, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's really is your foot, honestly, because somebody's possibly could pick you up for a show. Netflix could pick you up, Crunchyroll can pick you up, Hulu can pick you up for something. Like that's actually a really good deal. So I can tell you right now, today alone, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I subscribe to 11. Yeah, I subscribe to 11.
Bruh, he said, I'm just gonna keep up with y'all.
I gotta catch up somehow. I mean, I gotta catch up. Like, I think the one I'm really gonna read first though is Manager Kim, and I heard that thing is this dad looking for his daughter, and little do his daughter know that this dude is a certified badass. I mean, bullet wounds all on his body, cuts all over his body. If you seen Baki the Grappler before?
That's a fighting anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's the one I started. I just started back. Yeah, I'm only on episode. We're getting there. I'm slowly climbing the ladder.
It's cool. This dude is so badass that China and Russia is trying to put some soldiers together just to kill him. That's how badass he is.
Can't take him out. He's too badass.
That's who he is, right? So it's like all he wanted to do was just settle down, have a wife, have a kid, and then you take my kid away from me. Potentially she might be dead, but I'm gonna kill everybody in my wake. And I'm like, wow. I mean, like veins is like in his neck. That's how the level of passivity he is.
Whenever someone got a vein in the neck, I call, hey, look, Oscar's showing. Look,
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Oscars are showing right now. I don't know. I forgot where I learned that dumb joke from, but yeah, that's how it is.
Hilarious. So, Amber, tell us where we can see your cosplay work.
Like at conventions, or like Instagram.
Both.
I started going to conventions in 2021. Yeah, so August of 2021, and I was like, I'm getting into this. This is fun, and I started to try to build my Instagram page. I would like post like progress pictures of what I've been working on, and you can see my cosplays on Instagram and at conventions that if I attend them, because they're very expensive. Very expensive.
Very expensive. Very. And what's your Instagram handle?
I am at Tangerineee007.
Tangerineee007. You know what? That should be like an OG cosplay. Like you should be a Tangerine, but like as a spy, because you 007. Hey, you got to work out a way to figure that out.
That was another game, GoldenEye on the N64 that I watched my dad play all the time. So, and then I finally ordered another controller so we could play together. And then I played God, what the hell is that dude's little name? He's the one that you can't shoot because he's so short. Basically, yeah. And I played it on purpose to troll my dad. He said, "Why can't I shoot you?" I'm like, "Because I'm short."
GoldenEye is the gold standard of first-person shooters when it comes to N64. Like, it's the best.
I tried to play it. I'm like, man, Dad, you made this game look easy. But I think I did. So that's just me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe I am just an old soul at heart with games or something, because I just be playing whatever. Like that's what I want to tell you. On this Saturday, I went to round 1 like the famous those Japanese arcades, and I'm over here like going way back, and I'm playing Dance Dance Revolution, and over here like getting my cardio in the arcade. I enjoy those type of things. If I'm gonna gamble money, at least I'm gonna gamble while I'm gaming. So
yes, you got to. If you ever get a chance to travel, overseas, if you go to like South Korea, there's this place called Suwon, and in Suwon there's this arcade. It's like Star Wars arcade, and they got stools everywhere, and $20 will last you pretty much all day. And just know, little train ride to Suwon, just walk around. You won't see it, like you can't miss it really if you just look around, because it's like in the district area. But I think you will have a good time there. I mean, they don't have Dance Dance Revolution, but they have like Time Crisis, King Fighters, Tekken, and Street Fighter, and all the old 90s stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you could say I like Mortal Kombat. I'm not good at fighting games at all, but I have a very love for Kitana, so that's my wife.
Most people do. Kitana's not bad at all. I mean, she was well represented, I feel like, in Mortal Kombat, like the animated movies.
So sometimes video game movies just don't come out right, but if they're done right, maybe they can live. Maybe they can. They'll get so much dog water out of them or something.
Yeah. So Amber, it has been a pleasure having you on the show, and Tangerine007, where you guys can actually see her on Instagram. I will be putting her Instagram handle in the comments below. So if you want to give her a follow and say some nice things, get some words of encouragement as far as her cosplay ideas, go ahead and drop her a line. But until next time, y'all, peace.
Thank you. Bye.